Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Watching the breath as it comes in and out through your nose. You can go at your own pace as it goes through the nose, in and out. Just make sure you keep it exclusively through that channel. And obviously, if you know how to do Ujjayi breath, you can begin to bring that in here as well. As you're breathing in and out of that nose, just starting to notice what you notice. Sometimes as the breath comes in, it's a little bit cool. And as it comes in and out, it transforms and comes out warm. Sometimes, at least for me, my breath feels thick. And but maybe as it comes out, it feels different. Sometimes when my eyes are closed, I start to see colors. You know, sometimes it's black and sometimes it's white, but sometimes it's not. Depending on the music that you listen to, that might happen to you as well. Now from your child's pose, we're going to find our way to a tabletop position. Your hands are flat on the mat. Your hips are riding right up above where your knees are, kinda, and your hands, and your knees are about out towards where your shoulders ride. Now you're going to have a back that is straight normally in this pose, but in this case we're going to rock into some cat-cow pose. And so as we inhale, we're going to rock our head up as well as our glutes, our booty. And as we exhale, we're going to squeeze it all in and arch the middle of our back. Coming back into a cow pose as we inhale. Cow as we lift up and we kind of separate. Exhale, and the cat as we scrunch. And then we come back to our tabletop. Our breath cycle. We begin to bring our right hand forward. The palm will face the left side of the mat. And as you exhale, put it down. And as you inhale, now the left hand comes forward. Maybe you stretch it out. And as you exhale, your hand comes down. Inhaling, the right hand comes forward. Exhale, put that down. Inhale, left goes forward. Exhale, put that down too. Now we'll do a little kicking here with our legs. We're just waking up our body here. And so we'll kick back with our right leg and get a nice push back there. And maybe your toes are pointing down to the mat, but you're pushing with your heel. And as you exhale, you can put that down. We inhale, the left goes back same way as we did on the right, maybe starting to push back with the heel, or if it feels better for you, pointing those toes. And as we exhale, the knee comes right on back down to the mat. We inhale, we kick it back, and we push it. And as we exhale, we bring it down. Inhale, kicking it back on the left side. Exhale, put it down. We're going to do a couple combos here. So we'll kick we'll bring our right hand forward and we'll kick our left foot back. And we'll get that really nice stretch coming through from the fingers down to the toes. And as we exhale, we put it down. Switching sides, the left hand goes forward, the right foot goes back. Stretch your body, wake it up, and then exhale, put it down. Right hand forward, left kicks back on the inhale. Exhale, put it down. Inhale, left side. Exhale, put it down. Inhale, the right hand will just come up on its own here. And as you exhale, we'll thread it. And on the inhale, we'll bring it right back up, looking up, maybe and over the hand, and then we'll set it down. Left hand will come up. Take your time and then just thread that baby down. The shoulder goes down and maybe your left cheek touches. And then you bring it right back up on the inhale and set it down. The inhale right goes up. Exhale, thread. Inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, down. Inhale, left comes up. Exhale, thread. Inhale, back up. Exhale, thread. Nice. We'll bring up the right hand again, looking up and over. We'll exhale as we thread, but as we thread it, we'll hold it down for a breath cycle in. And then on the inhale, we'll lift it back up. And the exhale, we'll put it down. Inhale, left comes up. Exhale, bring it down, set it down. Inhale. Inhale, bringing it back up. Exhale, putting it down. Nice job, nice job. Let's see what else I wanted to do here this morning. Okay, we'll push back to a down dog position. So our arms are straight and our legs are straight. Our hands are out about shoulder width here, but you're trying to rest down on the pads of your hands. So there's a pad down here near your thumb and kind of going across, and then also near your knuckle. Use that instead of your dog. You're looking back here and you're kind of looking to where your navel is. You don't want to stretch your neck excessively. You're just looking back and you're breathing. And making sure maybe that you're allowing gravity to allow your heels to begin to relax here. Breathing in and out. Next, begin to look to the front of the mat, begin to walk. Bringing your feet to your hands here. Finding your way into a fold and then lifting up into a ragdoll pose. So your body is bent in half. Maybe your knees are bent so that your chest can come down and touch your thighs. Your eyes might be closed. You might be rocking back and forth. Just breathing here in and out. Coming back to center and then lifting on the inhale to Tadasana, all the way up, bringing it up. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, hands come down to your side for mountain pose or Samasthini. And here you just breathe for a few breaths and maybe set an intention for your practice. It can be super simple to set an intention. It doesn't have to be complex. It could be just something as simple as I want to sweat, or I want to breathe, or I don't want to do any of that. And of course, if you want your attention to be more deep and maybe more rewarding and more, I don't know, can't think of the word right now. But if you would like a more deep, intense asana pose, we'll do some half vinyasas here. So swan dive forward and we'll bend our body in half. Once again, you can bend the knees to get the chest and thigh connection. This time we're doing a forward fold, and it's kind of fun to kind of grip your neck here. But again, no overly stretching of your neck here. Just breathing in and out. And getting that nice stretch all up the backs of your legs and even going back up the back. Breathing. And then half lift, so your hands will come to your shin. Your eyes will kind of come down, straight down, and it just works out at about a foot in front of your feet. Don't measure anything in yoga, just kind of look at it and go, okay, this is a foot to me. And we always know that the guys are a little more off than the women. Breathing in here, and then we fold. And then we lift all the way up. Exhale, hands down to your side, mountain pose. Inhale, we'll bring that back up. Exhale, we'll swan dive forward. Inhale, we'll half lift. Exhale, we'll fold. Inhale all the way up to Tadasana. Exhale, hands down to your side, mountain. Breathing. Inhaling our arms up, eyes up, stepping your feet together, and as you exhale, sit back down into a chair pose. Squeeze the knees together maybe and have all of your legs together. Pull that core and then reach those arms up, and then as you exhale, fold your body in half into a forward fold. Half lift from there and then fold all the way up to Tadasana. Hands down to your side, mountain breathing in and out. Arms up for another half Vinyasa. Exhale, sitting back down into chair. Inhale, the arms come up, stretch up. And as we exhale, we fold. Half lift from here and refold all the way up to Tadasana. Hands to your side, mountain pose. If you ever watch me, I kind of tend to do my yoga with my eyes closed. This is just what I used to do in the studio to help go deeper. So I kind of wobble around on the mat until I realize that my eyes are not open. Breathing. Begin with the sun salutations here. So arms come up for Tadasana. We'll exhale and we'll fold forward. Inhale, we'll half lift. And as we exhale, we'll come to a high plank position. It's the same thing as a high push-up, basically. Your shoulders and your elbows and your wrists are all in one nice straight line. You're probably standing on the balls of your feet. Wherever you're standing, you're lifting up from those hands, and you're trying to have a nice, solid diagonal line here with your body, starting from your heels and going up from your head. Breathing here in and out. And then beginning to come down all the way to the mat. As you inhale, lift up for a baby cobra. It just means that you lift your head up off the mat, really. And if you'd like, you can lift your shoulders, or maybe you can even come up a little higher. From here, we push back to a child's pose, where we begin breathing in and out. Popping up to a down dog on the next exhale. Looking to the front of the mat, bending your knees and walking forward into a forward fold. Finding that nice fold here and then half lift. Fold once again and lift all the way up to Tadasana. Exhale, your hands come down to your side, mountain pose. Breathing, stepping your feet together, perhaps, unless it feels better for you to have them separated. Inhale, arms up. Swan dive forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, come to your high plank. Inhale. Exhale, come down all the way to the mat or to a low plank chaturanga. You can inhale and pull forward for either a cobra or for an up dog. And as you exhale, pushing back to a down dog. Breathing here in and out. Bending your knees and choosing to walk, hop, or skip. Forward fold. Half lift. And fold again. Woo. Inhale all the way up to Tadasana. Exhale, hands down to your side, mountain pose. Breathing. Here we'll add some complexity before we add speed to the practice. We'll lift our arms up for Tadasana. As we exhale, we'll sit back for chair pose. And as we inhale, we'll lift up and stretch that torso out. And as you exhale, fold your body in half. Inhale, half lift, and then come to your Vinyasa. And a Vinyasa is just a series of poses. And in this case, it implies a high plank and a low plank. From inhale to an up dog, and an exhale to a down dog. But if your Vinyasa is different, whether that's downgraded or upgraded, that's certainly your choice. It depends on your body, your strength, your injuries, and things like that. Don't compare yourself to other people in the mat. Everybody is different. Breathe.
Lift the right foot up and maybe move the foot around. Don't go any further past that here. We're still kind of warming up. Moving the foot around and then stepping that right foot forward and bringing it down to the mat. We're going to come down to a low crescent lunge here. So we ride up and over the ball of that left foot. And on the inhale, we'll bring our arms up. And as we exhale, we'll bring our hands down to the mat. Inhale, we'll rise up to a warrior one. Warrior one? What am I talking about? You know what that is. And then as we exhale, we'll come to a high plank and a low plank. An up dog and a down dog. Breathe. Left leg comes up, moving the foot around. Stepping that left foot forward and coming into a low crescent lunge. The knee comes down on the top of the right foot. Inhale, the arms come up. And as we exhale, bring the hands back down. Now as we inhale, we'll come up to the high crescent lunge, which is what I meant to say on the side. Inhale, lift. And as you exhale, bring your hands down to the mat. Find your way to a high plank and vinyasa your way all the way back to a down dog. And exhale. Looking to the front of the mat, bending your knees, walk, hop, skip. Half lift from there. And then fold all the way up to Tadasana. Hands down to your side, mountain pose, breathing. Inhale, arms come back up. Exhale, sit back for our chair pose. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, fold. Half lift. High plank and vinyasa. All the way back to your down dog, breathing in and out. Right leg comes up. Maybe this time you want to play with your dog and maybe twist your dog out. If you're twisting your dog, try to remember to keep your shoulders flat to your mat in front of you. Sometimes if you can lift up from here, you can even get your toes to start flying over the left side of your body. We'll find our way back to a three-leg dog from here. And as we step it through, we'll come into a runner's lunge. You can keep your knee up if you like, or you can sit it down depending on how you feel today. Staying in that nice lunge, and wherever you are, putting your hand down maybe on the left side so that you can begin to twist your body on the right. Your right hand comes up and you're looking up and over your right fingers maybe. And as you exhale, we bring that back and we find our way to a high plank vinyasa. Find your way back to down dog when you're ready. On the left side, the foot comes up. Maybe you twist it out here, or maybe you stay in the three-leg, or maybe you stay in a regular down dog. It's certainly your choice. Finding your way back to a three-leg dog, and then stepping the left foot forward into a runner's lunge, breathing here. And as we inhale, we twist the lunge. And as we exhale, the hand comes down. We vinyasa our way all the way back to our down dog. Breathe in when we get to said dog. Looking to the front of the mat, walk or fly. Forward fold. Half lift. And then fold all the way up to Tadasana. Hands to your side, mountain, breathe. one more fun sun salutation here. As we inhale, the arms come up for Tadasana. Lift up, pull up. Exhale, sit back in that chair. Now you can pull forward a little bit in your chair, just making sure you're not folding your body parallel to the mat below. And then as we exhale, we fold, half lift, and we vinyasa our way back to our down dog. Breathing along the way and breathing when you arrive, in and out. Right leg comes up. Now, if you like to flip your dog, you're certainly welcome to do that here. I would just ask that if you flip, no matter where you are, I can see you from in your house, that you first come up and over your shoulders before you flip your dog. And once you flip, finding your way there, and then finding your way back to a three-leg dog, breathing. Stepping the right foot forward, and this time we rise up for our warrior one. There it finally comes, arms up, breathe up, lift up. And as you exhale, sink down a little bit into that warrior one. Allow your hips to kind of come forward to the front of the room or whatever space you're in, and make sure that knee is a nice 90-degree angle. Now as we exhale, we're going to open up into a warrior two. The knee will stay that nice 90-degree angle. Our body will shift here to the left side of our mat. Arms will open and we're looking out and over that middle finger. When I come here, my goal is to stretch my upper body by pulling my hands away from each other. Work on getting a really flat feel here on the left side of my mat. And make sure I'm not slacking here with my right knee and not bending it enough or too much. From here, vinyasa. High plank, low plank, or whatever your vinyasa is, to a down dog. Left leg comes up. Once again, if you flip it on this side, I'd like to on this side now. First come up and over your wrists. Then flip your body kind of upside down. You're kind of looking back here. Your arm is kind of hanging down. I like to look down from here. Pushing the hips up and then finding our way back into that three-leg dog. Exhaling in, stepping forward, and then inhaling and rising up to a warrior one. Sink down, find your pose. And then exhale to warrior two. Getting this nice side here on the right. It's like you're pushing up against a glass wall. You can pull in your core because you're standing free. Your hands are pulling away. That left knee is 90. And then we vinyasa all the way back to our down dog. Breathe. Make sure you breathe along the way. Looking to the front of the mat, walk up, skip, fly. Half lift from here. Fold. Inhale all the way up to Tadasana. Hands down to your side mountain. Inhale, arms will come up. We'll start to play a little faster here. And as we exhale, we'll fold that body in half. We'll inhale and then we'll vinyasa our way all the way back to a down dog. Breathing in and out on the way. This time we'll lift up the right leg and we'll bring the knee to the nose, and as we do so, the shoulders will come over the wrist and then we'll kick it back. Bringing now the knee to the right elbow, bringing it all forward, and then as you exhale, kicking it back. And now bringing that knee to the left elbow, coming forward, and now finding its way back. We step the right foot forward, and we rise up to a high crescent lunge on the right. So arms come up, We're standing on the ball of that left foot. Our arms are reaching up and we're breathing. And as we exhale, the hands come down to heart center. On the next inhale, go ahead and twist. And exhale, and then maybe inhale and begin to twist your body more. And then as you exhale, open your body up to a warrior two on the other side of the mat. The body is pushing towards that invisible wall. Knee is 90, hands are stretching away, breathing. And as we inhale, we'll reverse that warrior, breathing, maybe looking up or looking back. Still 90 degrees. And on the next exhale, finding your way to a side angle pose. Maybe the hand is down to the mat, to a block, or the elbow is resting on the knee. Left hand is up. Hands are pulling away from each other. And hopefully you're looking up past the middle finger of the left hand, breathing here, and maybe stretching a little bit more. And then finding your way down to a high plank. Let's not go yet into a vinyasa, because first we'll find our way to a side plank. Easy way to do that from a high plank is just to roll right on down to the left side of your feet. You can open up your arm here as you inhale. You can stack your feet here. Just be safe wherever you go. And then vinyasa. Breathe. Left goes up to your nose. Exhale back to your elbow. Exhale it back to your right elbow. Exhale it back. I have those breaths back. This is my apologies. Stepping the left foot forward and then rising up to our crescent lunge. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale. Maybe the hands come down to heart center. Inhale. And then exhale as we twist, getting the air out of there, pulling in that core, and then inhale and looking up. If you start to fall out, just use this knee maybe to help you get a little more traction. Breathing in and breathing out. In. And then as you exhale, we'll open up to our warrior two, nice and round, or nice and bent. Left knee, 90 degrees. I'm pulling my hands away from each other like I'm in a tug of war. Breathing, stretching. And as I inhale, I'll come to a reverse warrior, looking up, looking back, getting this nice arch here. And then as you exhale, coming up into a side angle pose, using the knee or not, opening up the arms. And once again, you can feel like you're in a tug of war here with the two hands pulling apart here. Making sure the right leg is nice, and straight and strong. And then finding your way to a high plank. And from the high plank to a side plank. Stack the feet maybe. Lift the leg, look up maybe, breathe and find your way back to a high plank, low plank, or whatever your vinyasa is. Then the knees, look to the front, jump, half lift, fold, inhale up. Mountain pose. Find your breath. Arms up, Tadasana. Swan dive forward. Half lift. Vinyasa. Right knee up, or right leg up, excuse me. Knee to nose. Knee to right elbow. Knee to left elbow. Knee back. Right foot forward. High crescent lunge. Warrior two. Reverse triangle. Triangle. 5-point star. Goddess squat. 5 point. Goddess squat. 5 point. Goddess squat. 5 point. Hands at your thighs begin to fold on the exhale. Inhale midway. Exhale fold. Find your stability here on your breath. Right hand comes up on the inhale. Exhale it down. Inhale left. Exhale it down. Inhale. Exhale it down. Inhale left. Exhale it down. Right comes up. Exhale down. Left up. Exhale down. Coming to a side lunge, we'll start in the front of our mat. And so we'll come up and over the right foot. Left toes are pointing up. You can keep your hands here on the mat in front of you, or you can bring them to heart center. If you have a different variation, that's fine. You can keep your hands on the mat and switch to the other side now. Right toes come up, or you can keep them off the mat when you switch the next time. Breathing in and out. Switch. To the front of your mat, hands are at heart center. Looking back over that left foot now, and then finding your way into a high crescent lunge, looking to the back side of your mat. You're standing on the ball now of your right foot. Your arms are up and over your shoulder. Breathing in and out. From here, if you'd like to, you can find your way into a half moon or a dancer pose, or even an airplane pose if that's what you feel like today. Taking that pose and doing the best you can with it here, breathing in and stretching, and then finding your way back to a side lunge. Now on the back side of our mat. Right toes are sticking up, breathing in. Switch to the other side. Inhaling, come midway up. Inhale, right hand comes up. Exhale it down. Inhale, left comes up. Exhale it down. Inhale and begin to rise up. Exhale, goddess squat, hands at heart center. Inhale, rising up to 5 points. Exhale, finding your way back to warrior two. Breathing, reverse the warrior. Exhale, vinyasa, go. Finding your way back to your down dog as you breathe. Left leg comes up to the nose. Bring it back. Left elbow. Bring it back. Right elbow. Bring it back. Step it forward. Crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse triangle. Exhale, triangle, bend and lift. Inhale, 5 point start. Exhale, squatting down, goddess. Inhale, 5 point. Exhale, goddess squat. Inhale, 5 point. Exhale, goddess squat. Inhale, lift. Exhale, coming to the back of the mat and finding exhale, and finding your way down to the mat to a side lunge. Right toes are pointing up, breathing in, finding maybe the same hand position here that you used on the other side, and now switching to the back side of the mat. Left toes are pointing up, breathing in and out. switching now to the other side. Right toes come up. And then finding our midway. And then finding our way to a high crescent lunge, facing the back side of the mat. Rising up to that nice high crescent lunge. I think I'm right here, guys. Breathing here and then finding your way to whatever jump off position you had here. Maybe for you it's an airplane with airplane arms that you breathe in and out and bring them front and back. Maybe it's half moon working here, maybe using a block, or it's something else. Finding your way down to this beautiful side lunge that I keep renaming. Switching sides. Rising midway, right arm up. Rising up, squatting for crescent. Inhale, rising up, high point. Exhale, warrior two. Reverse that warrior, Vinyasa. Here. Look to the front, walk up, skip, fly. Half lift. And fold. And all the way up. Hands to your side, mountain toes, breathe. One more flow like before. This time we'll do a triangle flow. Arms come up to Tadasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. High plank. All the way back to your down dog. Breathing along the way, in and out. Simple flow this time. Right leg comes up. Step it forward and rise up for a warrior one. Arms come up. Sink down in. And open now to a warrior two. Breathe. Reverse triangle. Triangle. Come to the side of your mat. Coming maybe into a deeper inversion here. If you were where you were before and that was enough for you, you can stay right where you are with your hands underneath of you and maybe just start to bend deeper. You can bring your hands to the sides of maybe your shins and just rest them there if you're interested. Or you can even grab the outside of your feet. You're trying to keep these legs straight if you can, but it's not always possible. And if you'd like to go into a deeper inversion, my favorite is always a tripod. You can go there now. Being careful where you are. I am surrounded by brick, so I am certainly being careful. Breathing. And then finding your way back. We'll find our way back up midway. And then we'll find our way into a pyramid pose. So for pyramid, both of our feet are on the mat and they're both flat. Both toes are facing towards the front of the mat. Your body is bending over this right leg. It's always best if you have a block here. And you put the block kind of right here in front of your toes. If you're like me and have short arms and didn't bring your block right now, you can kind of grab right at the top of the block there and get into the stretch. If you don't have the block and you really want to, you can bend that knee a little bit to get that nice stretch. Breathing. High plank, Vinyasa. Left toes come up. Step it forward. Rising up for warrior one, lifting up. Sinking down, 2 breaths here. Opening into a warrior two, breathing. Reversing on the next inhale into a reverse triangle. Finding your way to a triangle. Finding your way to the inversion of your choice to the side of your mat. It's in and on and off windy here, and right now it's probably blowing more than I'd like to do. So for me, I'd like to stay up this time, and maybe I'll just keep my hands here at my chin. I keep my legs as straight as I can, and I'm just going to bend my head, getting it under my heart. People talk about inversions. That's what it is. It just means getting your head beneath your heart. And when you do a down dog, you're actually doing an inversion. Just breathe here and get the nice stretch wherever you are. For me, it just feels amazing to bend my body here, and the back of my legs feel amazing right now. And from here, we'll release. We'll find our way to a pyramid pose. Feet are flat on the mat, facing forward. Sometimes I like to stand up so I can just make sure everything is forward first, and maybe even raise my arms up. And then as I fold, it just seems easier for me to get into it. Now, once again, I'm short of my block today, so I'm just going to bend my knee a little bit here, breathing. Come to a high plank and Vinyasa back to a down dog. Then knees looking forward, fly. Half lift and fold all the way up. Hands to your side, mouth pose. Just going to do a tree pose here for people who want to do a little more balancing. Open up the door so the muck can go back inside. Breathing here. Eyes are normally closed during tree, but I'll keep them open because I don't want to get blown over. For tree pose, I like to bring my hands to my heart center. That's where I like to keep my hands. And for tree pose, really, if you don't like to balance at all, you can just stand on your 2 feet. Maybe you find that whatever slouches you had here at the sides of your body start to lift out. Now maybe you also want to start to breathe and grow your tree. I always like to bring my hands behind me first because it comes out of my peripheral vision. And that way I can keep my eyes on my drishti point and not be worried about my hands flying around. I like to lift them up, and for me I like to lift them right up above my shoulders because for me I like to continue to challenge my balance. So I'd like to look up to this beautiful Florida sky. And from there, we'll release, our hands will come down and back to our heart center. Find the same foot placement we had on the other side. Breathing peacefully as you do so. Maybe looking up if you want to challenge your balance. And if you fall out, it's fine. You can get back in, or you can just catch us at the end when we all release now and back. Just standing, our arms will come up. Exhale, fold. Half lift. And Vinyasa all the way back to a down dog. What are we gonna do after that, y'all? Oh, I see. Let's see if I can try it on the mat. From your down dog, come forward into a high plank. And then slowly to the count of 5, come all the way down to your mat, and your right cheek will hit the mat. You'll be looking left. Get comfortable here on your mat. Maybe your hands come down to your sides. Palms are facing up. And maybe here you just start to slow it all down even more. Or maybe this is your chance, first chance. So just breathing here. We'll do some locust poses here. What we do first here for locust is you'll have to decide for yourself if you like your forehead on the mat or your chin. That I always call a shin, by the way. If your chin feels good, that's fine. If it feels better with the head, that's fine. And as we go forward through this, there'll be another pose called bow, and you might want to check it there to make sure it still makes sense. So from here, you can put your head on the mat or your shin. Your hands can come to your waist, which is a little higher than your hip area. The goal is to get your hands here at your side flat. Breathe. Forcefully for a few breaths in and out. And then on the next inhale, just lift your upper body off the mat. Just start to peel it off the mat, using your head maybe as guidance to start to tell your body to lift up further. Breathing as you lift. No weight in your hands here at your side, just using your back. And when it's enough for you, come down and rest on your right cheek. Sorry, your left cheek, looking to the right. Breathe. Come back and do another locust here. Now for this locust, we'll bring our hands to our hips again, except this time we're gonna bring both our upper body and our lower body off the mat. So essentially you'll be balancing on the part of your body that's right beneath your belly button and right almost at the upper part of your thigh. That's the only thing that will be touching the mat in this pose. I know it sounds crazy, but just watch you do it. Breathing in and out forcefully here. And then as you inhale, lift it all off the mat. Maybe it's easier to start in back and get those legs up and see how far you can ride up the thigh. And then maybe you start on the upper part. And then you make sure you're not using your hands. And maybe you look up, start to pull up as best as you can. And then when it's too much, you come right on down to your right cheek, look to the left, your palms are facing up, and you breathe. Now we'll play in bow. If you're done arching your back, that's okay, but just keep in mind if you have issues with anxiety and stress, stretching your back or bending your back are one of the best things that you can do because it starts to create some of your body chemicals to react, and it essentially creates a fight-flight reaction in your body. And so for me, I used to always push back on that immediately. Ooh, I don't want that, I hate that, I have enough of that in my life. But as my life kind of fell apart, and all that I had was that in my life that I kept trying to hide from, I learned something in yoga that if I stayed with it in the back bends, that I could learn that I'm creating my own stress. And that when I'm creating my own stress, I can therefore manage it because I'm managing how it reacts in my body with the back bends. Yeah. Kind of worked for me. It might sound like a crazy theory, but for me, you can push back to your child's pose if you haven't already. I got on the soapbox there, I'm sorry. We'll come back and, speaking of back bends, I was gonna do some camel here. So you can come up to your knees here if you wanna follow along. I always keep my knees a little separated here at first. Hands come to my hips. At first, I just like to start to move side to side. Kind of looking bad, yeah? Maybe inhale one side, and then exhale. Maybe your elbows get involved and your body starts to rock like this as you breathe in and out. Maybe your arms come out. Maybe eventually you find yourself with your arms out and you're just doing, I believe, what they call a camel arm swing. And so you get to the point where your arms are kind of swinging on your own. Your body is kind of sort of facilitating it, but you're trying to keep your hips straight at the point that you're doing it. Wherever you went to, coming back to your camel and then finding your way back to a child's pose, or maybe even a rabbit's pose if that is your preference after camel. It used to be recommended to practice at the studio I used to go into in Dallas. Breathing here. Coming back onto your knees. You can stand on your toes here. You can let yourself to rest on the tops of your feet. Coming into a camel pose. Some people who have never done a camel or a deep back bend, you might want to just stop here and think about just bringing your hands to your back. In fact, we'll all do that. We'll bring our hands to where our pockets should be in our workout clothes. I actually have a pocket in my workout clothes, but that is not where I want to grab. So what I like to say is just grab your glutes, grab your butt, really down into it, get a nice hold on it. Then start to pull in your core and start to maybe look up. And if this makes you dizzy, stay here. Maybe you start to look back and bend back. Trying to keep these hips forward and not pushing drastically forward or back just to facilitate the bend. Breathe here. Maybe you have to adjust your hands to help you. Just breathe through whatever sensations you feel. So yeah, you can just start small, and maybe as you look up, that feels scary. And so you work through that with your breath. And then you look a little deeper. Figure out how to handle that with your breath. And then you continue on. You know, you can take your camel pose, and if people who are really advanced are coming all the way back, and sometimes they're even grabbing their hands up and over their heads and grabbing their feet. It goes really far back. There's not really a limit to how far you can stress yourself out and learn from it. And learn to breathe through it. Finding your way back, a rabbit or child's pose, breathe. Pushing back to our down dog. Right leg comes up. We're gonna bring the leg through and find our way into a half pigeon. And then breathe for about 30 seconds. Hopefully from above, the only thing you can really see are my knee and my foot poking out. That's the goal. Feeling that nice stretch all the way back up, that nice thigh. You can feel it in your glute, the hands, all of that. Breathe. And find your way back to a down dog. Left comes up, stepping it through. Pigeon here, breathe. Coming down or staying up. And then rather than pushing back to a down dog from here, we'll just kind of sit back, finding our way into one of our stretches that comes next. It's seated tree pose, and so the bottom of, actually we'll just do it this way. the bottom of your left foot will come in and rest at the bottom of the right foot. That's probably where it was as you came out. Your arms will come up as you stretch up. You want to pull that core in and you really want to lift. You just don't want to sit here. Lift, and then as you start to fold forward, you're actually pulling kind of forward with your fingers so that you don't just fold forward. You lift up and over that leg and then you fold forward. And as you lift up and over, you may or may not be able to get a grip on your foot. If you get a grip, that's great. You can bend your head down and start to ride this through. If you can't do that, it's okay. Just put your hands on your leg wherever they can reach. It's not a big deal. You still get the same stretch. Just breathe. And then release and switch sides. So now the right side comes in, bottom of the right foot comes in to the left thigh. Maybe you need to move the cushions out on the couch so you can get down to your sit bones here. Lifting your arms up. Pull up. Maybe look up as you breathe in. Suck that core in. And then pull forward as you lean forward. Get some strength and stretch in both your legs and your back. This is another place where you can start to maybe feel a circular motion of energy if you're paying attention. Breathing. And you can focus. Now both legs are in front. And be moving those cushions out. Eating a lot of chocolate. I have some cushions. Arms up. Pull up. Look up. Pull in that core and then exhale, fold. Once again, maybe you can or maybe you cannot get your feet. He's eating rocks now. Your hands at your feet. Breathing in and out and trying to keep your legs straight if you can. Nice. Now I think we'll find our way down to our back here. It's been about almost an hour, if not more. Ab flows here, so if you don't like abs, you can back forward, sit it out, or just hang out and breathe. So let's see, let's bring our feet up to the sky. Trying to keep your hips and everything flat down to your back here for now. You can have your legs together, or they can be separated. This together is a little easier maybe at first. Just breathing here and letting the legs be nice and straight up and above your hips. And breathing through that. And then about 5 degrees at a time, just super duper slowly, like you're watching the paint dry on a wall. Your legs will slowly come down to the mat, breathing in and out all the way down, just allowing it to slowly rock down, and then release to the mat, breathing here. Maybe now the legs come back up. Inhale. And as you exhale, the right foot comes down slowly to the mat. And as you inhale, the right foot comes back up and the left goes down. Inhale, the right goes up, left goes down. And now we'll do it as we alternate breaths. Inhale one side. Exhale the other. Inhale one side, exhale the other. Inhale one side, your feet don't touch your mat. One more time, taking 5 total breaths. And then rest your feet down on the mat, breathing here. Maybe you want to open your arms a little bit. The shoulder stand, the first thing I do is I just start to bring my legs up, just like I did before in the other poses. So the legs come up, right? Breathe here a couple times. And then start maybe to slowly lift your hips up off the mat, almost as if we're in a bridge pose, right? So the hips come up off the mat. You kind of get a grip down here, and you just kind of keep that momentum going. And so I like to get a grip here on my back, come up to my shoulders, using my arms as like stands here. And then I like to put my feet up to the sky, maybe push up, breathe here. If you want to constrict your breathing, which is actually not the best idea at first for anxiety, but it's another thing that you can work through. You can come to a cloud pose, so your feet come up and over your head, perhaps. If you do that, make sure you have a grip here on your back supporting you. If you want to do a deaf man's pose, you bring your knees to cover your ears, basically, continuing to breathe in and out, in and out. I do not like those poses. So for me, I hang out here in my beautiful shoulder stand. I enjoy life right there. Then you all roll back, or back. Maybe find a way into Supta Baddha Konasana. The bottoms of your feet touch. Your knees are wide. Your arms are out to the side. Just breathe in here. Come into a happy baby if that's what you prefer near the end of your practice. Your legs come up into the air. There's so many variations of happy baby, I can't even tell you. But you can, for me, some people just like to kind of grab onto their legs here to support their feet. Some people like to kind of bend their knees and grab the outside of their leg. Some people like to straddle. There's all kinds of different ways that you can do it. The real goal for me is getting this rock happening here and getting that release in my back. And for me, I always just prefer this. Probably is not the best view for a camera, but I like to bend my knees and grab the outside of my feet and kind of rock back and forth. Breathing wherever you go. And then beginning to rock your knees to the left side of our mat. This is a supine twist, so what we're doing here is getting a nice final twist in our body. So our knees come over to the left side, our right feet are kind of to the right side of the mat. Our arms are really wide open, and then we're going to look over our right hand. Your eyes don't need necessarily to be open, but your body is looking that way. And so you're getting this nice twist all the way from your hands, all the way down to your body. Sometimes you need to adjust your body so that the shoulders can stay down on the mat, and sometimes you can just take your leg, if you really want to go deep, and kind of set it over that other leg and really allow your body to twist a little further. Wherever you twist is fine with you. This is your practice. Use your twist. Breathe. Switch side. Looking now out and over the left, knees are to the right side of the mat. If you want to do this double knee thing and get the extra stretch, you're welcome to do that. I recommend you always do what you did on the other side. Try to keep your body balanced. If you did something hard on one side and you can't necessarily do it on the other side, it's understandable. You can always allow yourself to challenge yourself. And if it doesn't work out, take a step down. Breathe. Now find your way into a final Shavasana. For me, I like to do Shavasana on my back, and I like my arms and legs to be spread nice and wide. Some people like to be on their belly to do their Shavasana. Some people like to stay right in on the mat. They don't want to venture out on the dirty floor. Some people like me, don't care where they go. It's all about sweat and touching other people and all that stuff. So everybody is different. Everybody is different. Find your Shavasana. And then try to stay here for a good 4 minutes. It's always helpful to get a nice 4-minute song, play. Today it'll just be silence, unless you can hear that little bit of music there.